He does.
Good evening.
Good evening.
The Lincoln County Board of Education is meeting in regular session. Today is Tuesday, December 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. and we're at the Lincoln County High School in Hamlin. This is a meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the county school system's business. There's a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda item, public comments. This meeting is being live streamed and a video copy of the meeting will be on the board's website within 5 working days. At this time, I'd ask Board Member Mosteller if he'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Mosteller. That takes us to agenda item 2, which is our roll call, and we have Board Member Cartwright in attendance, Board Member Burns, Board Member Mosteller, myself, and Board Member McComas is on the phone. That takes us to agenda item 3, public comment. Did we have anybody sign in for public comment? No public comment. So that takes us to agenda item 4, the reason that we're here. I'll turn it over to School Administrator, Principal Mr. Roy, for the Lincoln County High School LSIC report.
Thank you, sir. First of all, welcome to everybody. Glad to have you here. Also, the folks who are here representing our LSIC committee. I'll go through those folks, and then we'll get a chance to hear Miss Klein, Miss Hatfield Klein, and also Miss Salmon's back there speak to you on a couple of things. But we want to make sure that if you're hungry, you also grab something to eat on the way out. We've got some meat trays over there, fruit trays. Don't forget that stuff.
Oh, thank you.
Now, let me find this. I don't want to do that. I'll restart this.
You're good?
Go right ahead.
Here we go. All right, I'm not gonna read everything in this. I'm gonna hit some of the highlights. I'm gonna have to jump around just a tad. So, I want you to go to the back page on this template we've got here, and I just wanna introduce you to our LSIC members. We held our elections. Our LSIC chair is Mr. Neil Overland, who's here. He was elected by our group to be the chair. Jordan Bryson, who is a new math teacher, she's also on the committee. She's, of course, a couple of those folks didn't make it to school today, so, and the weather probably prohibited them from being here tonight, so. Also Jennifer Bayless, who is a CTE teacher for us. She's our, part of our CTE group. Parents elected to the LSIC is Eddie Austin and Aaron Grayley. Service personnel, Ryan Pritchard and Carolyn Egner, who's back here. And other members, our at-large member is Mary Bell Mullins, who's retired counselor, teacher. She was kind of, I asked her if she'd take part, and she gladly obliged, so I'm happy to have her input as well. Myself, Ms. Klein, and of course Chevelle Salmons, who's a student representative. She's also our student body president. Business partners, Armstrong, Caldwell Insurance, Saved by Grace Barbecue, Southern, and there's a number of others there that we collaborate with on things that, and something I just kind of want to touch on very quickly is that we have recently entered into a contest as, in our welding department, and we have partnered with Nucor to do that, so hopefully there's some partnership growing in that area too. But those are all of our folks, all of our business partners, and we're glad to have them to help us out because it It is a task that one person can't do alone, and any input helps out tremendously. So I'll start. You have our demographic data there, our enrollment data. Something I just want to quickly point out is the low SES, 62%, special education's 30%, homeless is 31%, as identified by the McKinney-Vento in our WEVA system, and close to 3% in foster care, give or take. The thing that we're all really kind of concerned with is strategies to improve our test scores. We did have a dip last year. Let me just go down to that. If you look on page 3, I think it's page 3 there. Our ELA proficiency is 47%, which is a small drop. Our math proficiency dropped quite a bit. According to our latest PSAT data, our juniors take in the fall, they just recently took that. We can typically see anywhere from 3 to 4% growth on that, and our ELA proficiency on that was 48%, so we can look possibly to see a 3 or 4% increase by the end of the year, and the same for math. It was 9%, so we could possibly look for growth there too. Typically, it's 3 to 4%, sometimes more. But that's our proficiency numbers there. As far as college and career readiness, we have tracks for students to enter college and career through the ECA, regular college prep classes, and career readiness through CTE. Our simulated workplace, and they're tested through NOCTA and come out of school with certifications upon leaving. Our curricular focus, we've renewed our partnership with SREB, and they're helping us out in the area of teacher planning and knowledge levels for assessments and teacher questioning. We actually have a session with them coming up tomorrow. They're going to be here to meet with teachers on planning, then a follow-up the next day. We're going to go out and monitor some classrooms and do some debriefing after that. But that's been an ongoing thing since probably the beginning of October that we officially kind of jumped into that, and it moves throughout the year, and they support us along the way. Usually it's going to be about once every 2 months that they come back and they're with us and our teachers. We also purchased, for purposes of benchmarking, IXL, which other districts used, and I'd heard great things about, and thought that we needed something to benchmark our kids because we didn't have anything really in place, something that we could benchmark our kids in ELA and language arts on a more frequent basis, 3 times a year. And we've just kind of scratched the surface on this too. There's so much more we can do with it, but right now we're just benchmarking, and it has a tool for teacher planning and also some skill plans for kids based on their deficits. So it's built into this. We haven't fully implemented anything, but there's a lot of capabilities with it, and I think there will be some increases in student achievement just based on that alone. It'll get them looking at their data more. Most of our 11th grade students still have a SAT prep class, SAT prep. We pay attention to time on task and bell-to-bell teaching. Another place that we kind of dropped off was our graduation rate, and that was due to a couple of different factors. We had some kids hanging in the system who should have been out, who were dropped. The other, it's kind of misleading because you have a 4-year cohort and a 5-year cohort, and when students don't have quite enough credits to be a junior, they're still listed as sophomores. So some of that information there, it's our 5-year cohort, according to our Smarter Balance report this year, was in the blue, or in the yellow, which is not bad. Our 4-year cohort was in the red, so we were edging to get back, and I think that's one of the reasons we were identified was our graduation rate. I think it ended up being 79%, which is not good. But like I said, a lot of that had to do with our credit recovery and the way we were doing that, and just the overall change in credit recovery. We've changed the way we operate with that too. Last year at this time when I addressed this board, I think we had, the number was 423 kids out of 700 some that had to make up credits. That number has been almost cut in half since then. Right now, we have 230 kids, not including the freshmen, which last year was the smallest percentage of that population to have to make up a credit. We're sitting at 230, so that cuts it in half almost. So that's a big, big victory for us, I think. And kind of tackling that graduation rate and getting it back to where it needs to be. Our goal for that is 92%.
Is that for this year?
Yep. Our PLCs and leadership team meet one time per month. This is leadership team. We meet once a month to examine overall school organization and improvement through the strategic plan. We always address the strategic plan when we meet. Actually, just about everything in this presentation comes from our strategic plan. Our PLC teams meet by department and send the meeting minutes to the administrators. So there's always communication with our different departments that comes to Ms. Klein and I, and we, there's always that back and forth, the flow of information. We also attend some of those as well in the mornings when we have time to do that. As far as the current culture and climate of the school, we haven't had any formal diagnostics, although I'm going to in the spring request one from the State Department just to see how I'm doing. Just to see, as a leader, you want to know, you want some feedback, you want to know what people think about you, either good, bad, or the ugly. So we're going to do that in the spring. As far as the staff and students, we'll both do that. That'll be some good information that I'll get there. I will say, as far as overall climate, that there are less discipline infractions recorded in Weavis than at this time last year. We've been commended by visitors and monitors from the State Department about the cleanliness of the building and student interactions in the halls. And just to give an example of that, during one of those monitoring visits, one of the ladies had asked a group of students if they felt safe in the school, and the student reported that it never even crossed their mind. So that speaks volumes to me. If kids are answering questions about their school to people they don't know, and that was their answer, it truly does speak volumes, I think. Before I get into the rest of this data, I want to let Ms. Klein talk a little bit more about CTE and simulated workplace and NOCTI and all that stuff. She can give you a better idea of that and what our kids go through and the opportunities they have for that. So at this time, Ms. Klein, try not to touch my,
Board members
oh
and
my gosh.
just so you know, Miss Klein is she's formerly Miss Hatfield. You're about a month in.
Yes.
You've
About
been
a
Miss
month
Klein
in
for
of
a month.
being Miss
A month.
Klein. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Thank you. I just wanted to share some of our CTE data with you all. So currently we have 118 juniors and 107 seniors in our CTE programs. So 225 students, that's 65% of the junior and senior class enrolled in a CTE program. Our strategic plan is to continue improving the stimulated workplace environment, ensure that 70% of our students meet and exceed workplace readiness standards by passing the NOCTI. We just completed the NOCTI pretest. We did that right before Thanksgiving break. We have a few more students that need to complete that, so then I will print the reports for them. They're very nice reports, actually. Each student gets an individualized report of what areas they were deficient in that program on that test. Then instructors drive their instruction from there. So we have purchased, as a CTE department, we've purchased Kahoot. So there's a lot of great bell ringers, short quizzes that pertain to the NOCTI already created, or teachers can create their own. So they'll use that during class time to kind of help test prep. We are a tech center that works, which is a branch of SREB. So since we're working with SREB again, we have asked for a specific trainer to come and work with our CTE teachers while they're working with the core academic teachers to help focus more, increase academic achievement in CTE classes. We have Deborah Cullen. I don't know if you know her, Mr. Barnett. She's very good, and she's really made an impact already just with one meeting with our CTE teachers. I noticed some of them are already starting some of the skills that she already taught them, which is great to see. This year we have increased our CTSO, which is our student organization programs. We have 30 members in our healthcare HOSA program, 21 members in Educators Rising, 168 members in FFA, 30 JROTC members that are involved with marksmanship, drones, archery, and Raider competition. And they're currently evaluating students who are going to participate in skills. We'll have that number by the end of January, but this is great to see this many students participating in after-school activities through our CTE programs. And last year, we inducted our first class of National Technical Honor Society students. We have 20 students that are already in the Technical Honor Society, and this spring we'll induct more.
Wow.
So that's a great addition to our CTE program. I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, so just wanted to touch for a second on our attendance. I know I'm jumping around on you there, but our current daily attendance rate is 88.13. Our current chronic absentee rate is 38%, which is a bit higher than we would like it at this point. We still have, we've been without one of our CIS workers for about a month now. He took another job and we just filled that position, and they do a lot of outreach to homes and home visits and that kind of thing. I think he's going to be a great asset for us moving forward. So they're really kind of the boots on the ground when they attack this chronic absentee rate. And there are other things that, you know, overall we want our kids to be engaged while they're here. We want them to want to be here. And that goes from the top down, from me to teachers being engaging in classrooms to, you know, having great meals to eat here at school while they're here. We want them here, and we think that, you know, we're going to push that number even lower as we go. If you look at the discipline here, this is another thing I wanted to share. Our number of out-of-school suspensions for last school year was 52, and that was just 52 instances of out-of-school suspension for everybody, all students who were suspended. It's not broken down by subgroups. The number of out-of-school suspensions for the current year is 35, so we're kind of on pace to have a little more this year. If you double that, you're looking at 70 as opposed to 52. Something I can attribute a little bit of that to is the fact that I know there's been some times when maybe we have a fight or something and we have other people involved, maybe videoing or whatever. We've kind of went a little bit harder after those kids who shouldn't have been in there, just kind of watching too. So some of that, those added numbers are attributed to that too. The total number of discipline referrals for the current year is 811. The total number for last year was 1735. So we're kind of on pace to be around the same number there. as far as discipline referrals from our teachers that come to us, or things that we put in the system ourselves.
Mr. Wolf, if I can interrupt you just a second. Board members that were on the board a couple of years ago, if you remember at this time last year, that year, when the LSIC presentation was being given, the discipline referrals were in the 3,000s, in the mid 3,000s.
Yeah, they were.
So that's huge to cut them
It
down
was
that much.
then, it's better now.
Yeah, that just, again, that speaks to kind of what we were trying to build here with our kids, and just being proud to come here. I come here every day, and I always say that we get a bad rap, because when I walk in the building, I see kids doing the right things. I see them being polite when visitors come in. They're polite to adults most of the time. And just walking through the halls, you can tell that the kids are respectful. So, again, that speaks volumes about the school. I do think that we are a shining light for kids in this county. I think we only have one school, but I've been other places, and we do a really great job with our kids, from their basic needs to their academic needs. And a lot of people don't know exactly what we have going on here, but there's so much. We have opportunities for kids to get their associate's degree early. The same kids can take CTE courses, which kind of creates a scheduling nightmare for us, but there are so many different ways they can go, and so many different things that they can do, with us being a comprehensive high school, that a lot of people just don't have that information, and they don't know what good things happen here, and we rarely get to share the good. So I just wanted to say that. Before I get to the section on needs and additional assistance requested, I want to turn it over to Chevelle. She worked with a group of students across all grade levels to kind of come up with things that they thought would be good for our school. And from my position, I've always thought that when the kids have input and ownership, that's when things will really start taking off for you. It's about them anyways. It's never been about me. It's never been about other adults. It's about them. So I'm glad she decided to come here and help us out.
I spoke with a bunch of students from out the different grades, like Mr. Roy said, and we kind of came up with a list of the top 3 things that we felt need improved around our school. And I spoke with a bunch of different students, a diverse group, from students who aren't very involved in the freshman class to ones who are doing all the extras, seniors, all 3 areas, just to get a wide variety of opinions. And I think the number one thing that I crossed was hiring certified teachers for the substitute positions in the core classes. So our math and English departments, I know sometimes everybody's working hard to get obviously certified teachers, but we proposed hiring certified teachers to fill substitute positions in our core subjects at the school would significantly improve test scores across the school, enhance attendance rates, and establish a strong educational foundations for students preparing for post-secondary education. I just feel like as a group that if we had more certified teachers here in our core departments, a lot of times when you have subs who are just trying to do their best they can, it deters our attendance rates, our discipline rates, and just looking for more certified teachers I feel would improve our school as a whole. Our second thing was implementing teacher bathroom monitors during school hours. So I know that we have some monitors during the last few periods of the day. I'm in the Southern program myself, so I'm not down in this part of the school very much today, but I know we have them sometimes, teachers who sit outside of the bathrooms and monitor students coming in and out of the bathrooms. And we suggested having teachers monitor the bathrooms during the school hours all day, especially during our lunch breaks. This initiative would lead to cleaner bathroom facilities, support our janitor staff, reduce facility damage, promote better discipline, and ultimately allow more time for students to use the restroom between classes by managing foot traffic effectively. I know we have the Smart Pass database right now that we use, and I think that really helps out with things that go on during the bathrooms. I'd say the biggest problems that as a student myself when I go in the bathrooms is during lunch. is when the most traffic is of people not using the restrooms effectively. And I think that if we had monitors during that period, it would really cut down on that. And our last proposal was a beautification project near the front entrance right here, where the benches with the previous high schools sit. And we recommended this project for the area near the office entrance, including the area of benches that honor the history of the previous high schools that were consolidated. It would significantly enhance the physical appearance of our school, improve an underutilized space, and create a welcoming environment for students, visitors, and the community, while honoring the 4 high schools from the past. I think that even though it's something small, just visitors coming to our school, it would really help just the overall look of our school. A lot of people have a lot of things to say just about by the outside of the school, and I think that could really just turn an edge for the school. So that was our 3 things. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
I want to add that I asked her to do that for us probably 3 weeks ago, and, you know, I hadn't heard from her, and I thought maybe she'd just forgotten, and I didn't expect to get such a concise report back, and that she was so thorough in talking to all the students. She did a great job. And that, when she told me that she had something, I looked at it, but I didn't read it through because I knew it was gonna be quality. But if you hear what she's saying, you know, it's things that we talk about all the time anyways. So we don't give our kids enough credit for the things that they're doing, to try to make things better for themselves and the kids who are coming after them. So she did a great job. I'm gonna finish, I think, with just some the needs and additional assistance portion here. And mostly, this is just not to say we need it, it's to thank the board and Mr. Barnett and Jerry Cremines for taking care of some things for us that we needed done. There's an awning out back. We have our drop-off area out back in the mornings. If you haven't been back there, it's a nice awning. It keeps kids dry when they get off the bus. And you know, it's been a great addition for our morning commuters back there. Bathroom upgrades, we've got some locks on so we can shut down restrooms individually if we need to work on those. We don't have to shut the boys and the girls down. We can just shut either the girls down or we can shut the boys down. And we don't have to shut down both of those at the same time. So that's going to help us a lot too. And I know Mr. Cremines is working on some further upgrades in the bathrooms as far as stalls and that kind of thing. So again, we thank you for that. The third thing was the man trap, the entrance here. When I was outside, I looked at the floor and I'm like, man, there was some trash in the floor, and I thought, well, they didn't get to vacuum that. And I looked around and they've already torn off the outlets and the fire alarm and all this stuff on the wall. So in the next few weeks, we're going to have a man trap there that will make our facility even more secure. So I thought to myself, well, they didn't have anywhere to plug anything in, so that's why. But and the other number 3 there, that should be a number 4, is the big ask, and I know you guys have heard it. Everybody's heard it. The area out here with the for the restrooms, locker room, concession areas at the football field. If you know, and Austin and I have had this conversation 100 times. We know it's difficult. We know there's a lot of money, but hopefully somehow, somewhere, we can get something to get that on the move, because it's a shame for us to have that beautiful facility and have no facilities. So I think that's all I have, unless you guys have questions for me.
On that, John, are we looking to do on that, like, you know, locker rooms, restrooms, I mean, just do it right? I mean, when we do it, what's the plan?
I don't have a plan. I don't know if you guys have spoken about a plan, but it would be,
We've looked at a couple of different scenarios. You know, one of them is just a large building with a lean-to, if you will, enclosed lean-to. That part of it would be concessions. The other part would be locker rooms, restrooms, weight room. We've looked at that kind of scenario with buildings similar to what the baseball buildings down here, but finished out.
Mhm.
So I've put out a couple of feelers with some contacts that I have to see if we can, you know, try to get something drawn up for us, or, you know, something that we can have nice. We wanna, you know, we don't wanna piecemeal it if we can avoid it.
And one other question, what, as far as I know, we got Wayne Salmon's doing the concessions there. How much are we losing out on by not having full concessions there? I mean, is it,
Well, honestly, we're making money,
are we?
yeah.
Okay.
Because we have no overhead, and he is, they're actually giving us 50% of the gross, not the net.
Okay.
So we're actually in, we're in the black
That's good.
with concessions. So,
I don't have any questions, just, you guys are doing a good job, appreciate it. The thing that stuck out for me, the biggest, was I remembered that credit recovery number last year.
Yeah.
And that's a drastic improvement. You all were
Yeah,
really
and-
good with that.
Partially, some things that you guys passed here, word's gotten around that if kids fail in the 9th grade, they're gonna have to repeat in the 10th grade. And the fact that that program itself is a little more taxing, I think more kids realize that now too. And, you know, we've done a good job tackling it from the SAT level, student assistance team, all the way through, trying to really get a handle on kids before they get to the point where they're failing. A lot of things, even as far as, even work with our special ed department, a lot of things have worked together to drastically decrease that number.
I appreciate Ms. Klein breaking down the CTE stuff, and Chevelle, you did a great job. I would ask Mr. Barnett, this come to my mind last year during LSIC meeting. I want to get out of this cycle, and maybe we don't do it, but we have LSIC presentations and we sit here and nod our head, and then we never really follow up on anything. And I'm sure you do, and I'm sure Mr. Davis and everyone else does. But in the near future, this is the second LSIC meeting where we've had student engagement, and where students have actually come to us and with a presentation and a request. So I'd like to, in the very near future, at a board meeting, take some of these requests, and if they're not actionable, at least we can associate a monetary cost with them, or see where we're at with them.
okay.
But that way Chevelle knows, and everyone else knows, that we do take it serious and we appreciate it.
I'm gonna task Chevelle just for a minute. When you're talking about your beautification project, what are you talking about?
I think our original plan, we didn't really go into that much detail with it, but even getting our CTE programs involved with it, so getting our construction class to maybe come out and build something, a little something, or our welding class, really those areas of the CTE to come out and help. It doesn't just have to be student council or a certain group of students, but really just getting as many as we could involved to build something really appealing right there. I know that the benches are really beautiful, and the blocks on the ground have, I think, some students' names on them, and I think it just kind of gets neglected over there. It just looks kind of sad.
I'll agree with you on that. Mr. Davis and I have actually had that conversation with Mr. Roy a couple of different times, and you've got a wealth of resource right down the hallway here.
Yeah, I think that's really
I looked at some of the stuff that Mr. Adkins' class put out with it during Trunk or Treat, when they put out their welding sculptures. And I know you've seen them like up on South Ridge, the big colorful flowers that they put out and things of that nature. They're welded steel. Some things of that nature. You have an ag program down here. So, I mean, there's some beautification, some taking care of some of these plants out here. So, I think that your group that you got together, if you present these ideas to your CTE instructors and volunteer to help, then I think that you're going to you would see some results with that.
Even have
So-
your CTE instructors come up with maybe a couple different ideas, and then have either your group or as a school or however you want to do it to vote on, so they can kind of feel like taking ownership of it. And again, when you walk in, whether it be somebody from the state or a visitor or whatever, if that's, first
main
impressions
interest.
mean a lot.
So, for me, this may be something I should probably already know, but what's the SREB? What is that? What's,
Southern Regional
Education Board.
oh, okay.
So they're kind of like a group similar to Mountain State, on a broader scale. Mountain State just works generally with people locally. SRAB is based in Atlanta, right?
Mhm.
Yep, so more of a regional, a larger educational group that offers services.
Yeah. And I know it's already been talked about and discussed, but some of the things that the student body has presented, I agree with. And it's things that we've also been discussing and trying to find answers to. One of them, not necessarily on the students list, but the fourth, the restroom, locker room. I want so badly to get that completed and across the finish line. But I was glad to get it started, but I'd like to get it across the finish line because we do need those things. I think every time I drive past just the main entrance, I was like, man, seems awful skimpy. We could probably try to do a little something better than what we got here. And as Mr. Barnett has alluded to, I think our ag department, even maybe dredging the pond out back and putting maybe a little fountain in it. I do commend you for getting the disc golf course up and running again, and just tidied up, mowed up, fresh, and people can actually come here and play on that. But those are the kinds of things. And Ms. Salmons, as she was speaking, talking about bathrooms and cleanliness and that kind of thing, I know from the church world that your visitors that come in, and one of the first few things that they look at is the cleanliness of your facilities. And that determines if they ever come back again, whether you had good music or anything else. It's all about, and it does mean something. So I think that we definitely need to do our best, do what we can to try to help beautify around the school and get those projects completed. And I do, again, commend the downward rate in expulsions and that kind of thing. I know they're about the same, but the environment of the school seems to be picking up, particularly according to some of the visitors and the students' comments that you had here. So great job. And
Appreciate that.
thank you to Mr. Roy and Ms. Klein and Mr. Oberlin and Ms. Egner and Ms. Salmons. I appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Takes a lot of people to do some little things, but those little things stand up, don't they?
So that takes us to agenda item 5, which is approval of the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second that
Mr.
motion.
Mosteller makes the motion. Mrs. Burns second. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yes.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
And Mr. Wilson is yay. That carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 6, consent. Looks like we've got items A through D. Give you just a few seconds to look that over.
Motion we approve the consent items.
Motion by Mr. Mosteller,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Cartwright. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson, yay, carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 7, policies. These policies are on the agenda to be revised. Have a few there, and they've all been given to us earlier in the week, and you have physical copies to the left of your agenda.
These are coming off of 30-day review, right?
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright, second by Mrs. Burns. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson, yea, carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 8, allowed and authorized payment of bills.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Burns,
I'll second.
I'll second it.
second by Ms. McComas. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson, yea. That carries 5-0. Excuse me. Takes us to agenda item 9, financial request for approval.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Mosteller. Mrs. Burns?
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright?
Yay.
Ms. McComas?
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller?
Yay.
Mr. Wilson, yea, carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 10, personnel, and you can direct your attention to the blue sheet behind the agenda, and we've got items A through F.
Make a motion to approve personnel.
Motion by Mr. Cartwright,
I'll second it.
second by Ms. McComas. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yay.
and Mr. Wilson, yea, that carries 5-0. Takes us to agenda item 11, superintendent updates.
Just a quick update, if you've gotten a chance to drive past the new Duval site, there's a lot of interior things happening now, some drywall going up in some different areas. The second floor is being put on the back wing. Even with the inclement weather, they've got a lot of it, so much of it under roof right now that they can work on it, get a lot of work done still. So that works out really well for us. As Mr. Roy alluded to early on during his presentation, the man trap out here is going to be started on over the Christmas break. They'll be in here working on that, and we're waiting on the glass wall to be fabricated so that can be done. What'll start now, it'll be a little bit messy for a while because they're cutting through 3 layers of block out there to put a window in. So it'll be a little bit messy, a little dusty out there right now, but it's going to pay off. It's going to pay huge dividends for the school and the safety of the school to have that done. So we're real proud of that accomplishment that they've been able to do that. As soon as we get the chance to do it, I have been able to secure a couple $100,000 worth of cosmetology equipment that we will be storing, and hopefully when we are able to move the students to the new building, we'll be able to retrofit part of the central office over there and open another CTE program, a cosmetology program for CTE. So a big part of the cost has been taken care of, and I know it's good stuff because I purchased it. So it's we'll be able to contract and get that. So we're real proud of that. I will say that Randy Catan, one of our parents, actually was able through his business. He does a lot with the hotel chains. I'm not exactly sure what his title is, but he does a lot with the hotel chains, and he was able to secure some nice waiting area furniture that actually we have our box truck sitting up there now, and they're loading it into there, and a lot of that will go to Guyan Valley because right now they have some cloth furniture there, and it's in disrepair. Some of it was purchased at yard sales, and this is all good industrial quality stuff that's easy to clean, and they'll have some sitting area things out there. So I want to thank Mr. Catan for that. So that's coming down the pike as well. That's about all I had. Mr. Lucas.
Mr. Barnett doesn't care to bring this up. I would like to put a proposal together with the board related to a new fleet vehicle. Mr. Barnett says he doesn't need a new vehicle, but the facts are we really don't have anything to drive when we go out of town. His vehicle, we bought it when I started, it's about 5, 6 years old. Got about a 2005 Explorer and a 2006 been working on him for about 3 months on that, and he's been hesitant for good reason. I mean, you know, we have budgetary constraints, personnel season's coming up, but, it is money that we get back 3 years down the road. It's, you know, it is a transportation expense, so, I told him if he would allow me, I'd bring that up in the meeting since he's a little hesitant, which I respect, but, maybe we'll put something together for you guys on that.
Yeah, I think no harm in putting it together and letting us take a look, because, gotta have ways to get around.
Just don't want any real fancy Cadillacs going
We don't do
for
fancy.
Lincoln County Schools.
We don't do fancy.
I don't believe we ought to.
We're a base model type town.
That's exactly what we ought to be for a
Mr.
while.
Barnett's Jeep has looked a little ragged here lately.
I'm a very low-maintenance guy, guys.
Yeah, I think
Well,
so.
that's how I started my Thanksgiving break. I pulled out of the, stopped at 7-Eleven and backed out of 7-Eleven and started down. I made it to White's Plaza and my back tire went psh. So fortunately, Jerry Cremines was still here and was able to bring a jack over, and we got over and I got my spare out and the lug wrench didn't fit the lug nuts. So he had to come back to the high school and get a impact wrench. Couldn't find anything to fit it, so he made another trip over here to get it. We finally got the donut spare on it, but it's back out there now, so we're.
You're in business again.
Yeah. I'm just low maintenance and I try to be a good steward.
Yeah. Well, we gotta be.
Thank goodness we all are in this bunch.
We gotta be. All right, that takes us to agenda item 12, board member comments. If anybody has anything?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. First of all, I appreciate the hesitancy in asking that. But we require a lot of you all driving and traveling to different events, and you guys need to be safe. So
Yeah.
I would say, from my perspective, I won't speak for the board, but if you all need something like that, I wouldn't hesitate that much to ask for that, because that's not a reliable vehicle to travel around. It's not a luxury. That's something that, as you said, you get the money back, and it's just an operating cost is the way I look at it. So I'd prepare that and bring it to us. Second thing I want to bring up, about this time last year, the board was loosely discussing Mr. Barnett's contract. And we've given him a lot of accolades over the years and a positive evaluation. I think that's conversations we need to start having again.
I do too.
I know there are parameters that we have to do to make it illegal. So I would ask Mr. Barnett, I think we meet one more time in December, is that right? The next board meeting in December, between now and then, if you could check with Ms. Tyree, find out what those parameters are, when we can look at.
We can get together and look at it together.
When can we legally look at extending your contract? Because I think
Appreciate that.
that's something we need to look at
Yeah,
doing,
I
but we
do
need to
too.
make sure that we do it in a time frame that, we're in compliance with the state.
And
law.
that we can do it together and see what we're talking about together.
So if you could do that for the next meeting, I'd appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I've got. So, other than, again, thank you all for the presentation tonight.
Thanks for having us too in this lovely, lovely place. It's lovely in here. I'm so proud of Lincoln County High School and how you all have kept it at the top of its level. It looks just brand new. It really does.
All right, if no one else, that takes us to agenda item 13, adjourn until Tuesday, December 16th, 2025, 6 p.m. at the central office in Hamlin.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Mrs. Burns,
I'll second.
seconded by Mr. Cartwright. Mrs. Burns,
Yes.
Mr. Cartwright,
Yay.
Ms. McComas,
Yes.
Mr. Mosteller,
Yeah.
Mr. Wilson is a yay, and the time is 6:51.